I like this part. This is fun to use. You do have to be careful because it's very easy to use. And you can just keep on taking off more and more wood. And you can break through the back of the neck into the truss rod channel. And that's not good. I've managed not to do that so far. But there we are. I mean, that's a little bit rough, but that won't take long at all to sort that out with my files and then with my sander. It really doesn't take long. I spent maybe, no, I can't prove it because you weren't watching, but I spent maybe 5 minutes with the Shinto saw rasp, and you can see the results of that on the floor there, and then another maybe 2 or 3 minutes with the random orbital sander, and that's, I mean, it's not finished, but it's, you know, it's not that far off. That's yeah, and I'm still quite sure that's probably why carving the neck is my favorite part, because you get instant results, and who doesn't like instant results? Although I'm amateurish at building guitars in general, so far I think I'm getting better, and I've always regarded fretting as the most difficult for me. It doesn't come naturally, it's quite fiddly, especially the fret ends. But I think, largely thanks to the advice freely given by experts like Crimson Guitars or Highline Guitars or others, I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. We'll see how it turns out. I'm back working on the stripy coffin guitar. There's a piece of glue there that I will scrape off at some point. And did I mention this previously? Well, if I didn't, I'm mentioning it now. I've decided to, rather than route a cavity in the back, route a cavity in the front and mount the control knobs and switch in a piece of perloid plastic, like a scratch plate. Is it still called a scratch plate when its only function is to hold controls? I don't know. Doesn't matter, but that's what I'm doing. So I think I've settled on a shape that works, a template for the scratch plate. So now I'll roughly cut it out and route it to the shape of the template. So I've taken the template and put double-sided stick tape on the front. Make sure it's the front. One time I was making a scratch plate, and I applied the tape to the wrong side, and then went ahead and made a perfect mirror image of my intended scratch plate. Now, expose the sticky stuff. Okay, now you want to stick the front of your template to the back of the material that you're making this from, making sure you leave enough. Yep. Place it just right so the plastic overhangs slightly on every part of the edge, and it does. Jolly good. Okay, now I'm ready to route this to shape. just like so. The fluffy edges you can see, that's just a protective plastic film that's been torn up around the edge. But there we go. Nice simple shape to rout out. And now the bevel bit, which will, well, cut a bevel onto the edge. Okay, now I'll take a piece of very fine sandpaper and just make sure that that beveled edge is nice and smooth, but basically that's it. Okay, well that looks all right, doesn't it? I'll think about how to arrange those knobs because there's going to be a switch in there as well. So what I should do now, I guess, is make a template for the cavity that will be under there. Okay, so the last of the big woodwork, big holes to be made, will be the pickup cavities.